Well, we're going to have the opening statements from our incumbent sheriff, Sheriff Tippins, Randall Tippins, and then the opening statement from Marvin Welch.
Thank you. I think everybody here knows me. I sure hope so. I want to thank the committees today, Ms. Starks and Ms. Ford here for having this forum here, and I think it's very nice, and I think it will be well informed for you. I started my law enforcement career right here at City Hall, which it was a little bit different, kind of back a little bit, in 1976 as a dispatcher. Out there, I was a city policeman, and then from there, I was your deputy sheriff, and then I was your chief deputy, and now I worked up to be sheriff of Evans County for 2 terms. And in that, I've investigated numerous homicides. I've investigated a lot of burglaries. I've investigated child molestation cases. I've investigated a lot of property crimes. And in that too, I built a great core of relationships with the community, I think. I've always tried to help people. I tried to protect people. And I tried to be there for them when they need me. Can't be there all the time, but most of the time I'm there. Thank you.
Mr. Welch?
Let's say good evening to everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Marvin Welch. I'm a lifelong resident of Evans County here in Claxton, Georgia. I'm married to Lakeisha Welch. We have 4 girls, Jasmine, Janisa, and Jalen. Mother, daughter, Sade, she had to work, so she wasn't unable to make it in time to get here. But I just want to thank the committee for holding this forum, hosting the forum, because I feel like it's something that the community needs. As candidates for whatever you may be running for or campaigning for, the people need to know who you are and why they're putting you in those positions. I feel strongly that I'm a candidate for sheriff because there's a lot of experience that I can bring to the table. I started out in 1984 after I served 6 years in the military. Prior to that, but in 1984, I started my law enforcement career with the Department of Correction. I worked my way through the ranks up to lieutenant in corrections. Only reason I was fighting for captain, but the only reason I didn't make for captain in corrections is because they put a freeze on promotion at that time. And I just felt kind of, for a use of word, kind of stuck in that position. So I decided that I wanted to do something else. And I just had this drive for being a state trooper. I wanted to be a state trooper. And I applied and I was accepted in the trooper school. And I worked with State Patrol for 14 years. 14 years. I had 17 years in the Department of Corrections. During my time in corrections, I was sergeant over the CERT team, Correctional Emergency Response team. As a lieutenant, I was riot squad commander. And we had many events that we had to attend as riot squad members. I attended the Democratic Convention in 1988 in Atlanta, the Olympics. There were several other events that we attained to as far as crowd and riot control. I retired from the State Patrol in January of 2013. I can't say that I had enough of it, but you know when your time is doomed, you know, in anything, you know. So I set aside to do something else. So I cut yard, I cut grass. I had a lawn service. I've been cutting grass since 2013, and I enjoy doing that. I had a lot of people that would come to me and they would say, you know, all that experience you got, you ought to run for sheriff of Evans County. And I prayed about it. Talked to my wife about it, and it was laid on me to campaign for sheriff of Evans County. And I feel like I can bring a lot of, again, experience, knowledge in law enforcement, and that's not saying anything negative of what Sheriff Tiffany's got going on in Evans County as sheriff, as current sheriff. I respect him, I respect his position, and the job that he does here in Evans County. But I just feel like it's a calling for me at this time, you know, to be sheriff of Evans County. My focus is for the citizens, is putting our citizens first. And we do that by making sure that our schools, our families, and our communities are safe. And that is what people want, and I feel like I can really give that opportunity to the people as part of my oath of being sheriff to protect and serve.
Okay, thank you. The first question, consolidation of city and county government has been a recent consideration for Evans County. So what are your thoughts on how this would affect law enforcement? Sheriff Tippins.
Okay. Consolidation has been talked about since the early 90s. I can remember some of the commissioners that come up about they wanted to consolidate law enforcement, and it's been talked about a lot. Just about, seems like every few years it comes up. The consolidation, it will take a lot of work, it'll take a lot of planning, and everybody's got to come to the table. There will have to be elections for it. It will, the city, if I'm not mistaken, one would have to vote that they want to consolidate, and then the county would have to vote. That's the way I kind of understand it to work. But I will support anything this people of Evans County decide. If they decide to consolidate, we'll consolidate. But I really think from the first questions that you brought Brian over here was about the government. The government's going to have to consolidate totally to start with before law enforcement gets together. And I think it will be a good thing one day. It's going to take time and a lot of planning.
Mr. Bunch.
As far as consolidation in law enforcement, I really feel strong about it. I feel like it would be a plus for the community here in Evans County. I really think we'd be more effective in law enforcement, especially being a small county versus having 2 or 3 different departments if we was consolidated together and maybe setting up some type of schedule that will divide, have officers work in different sections or different areas of the county at a given time. And again, that's something that has to be planned and looked on and Sheriff Timmons said been voted on, but I do really feel strong that we can benefit here in Evans County by having consolidating together versus having 2 or 3 different areas of law enforcement.
Okay. The second question, how would you rate the relationship between the sheriff department and the community at large and why? And we'd like you to rate it with excellent, good, fair, or poor. And then if it's fair or poor, what would be your plans to improve this relationship?
Well, I would hope it would be excellent, but I really, I think I've always believed that the people of Evans County feel like they can have a good relationship with the sheriff's office. I've always believed a sheriff had to be a relationship person. Now we've had some problems with some employees that sometimes we don't get done, or somebody working for us, as you know, that might create problems. We deal with a lot of people. But I've learned that over the years here, that it's all about relationship. We've got to build relationships with the public. We've got to keep them relationships. And when something happens to start to dissolve that, we got to confront it, and we got to keep it there. My idea of policing is kind of I know what the community wants in their police. I know what they want in the sheriff's office. They don't want us out there every day stopping, making traffic tickets and etc. We're here to help you, and anytime we will, but this is excellent, I believe.
Mr. Welch?
Now, I'm not with the sheriff department right now, so it's kind of difficult for me to, from that point of perspective. But just out campaigning over the years, a couple of years, the year, you hear negative stuff, you hear negative information, complaints coming from some citizens. Some citizens are okay with it, so I guess I would, as far as putting a rating on it, it'd be kind of difficult for me to do that. But I would say that the people, the citizens of Evans County, I really think having a relationship and building a relationship with them is something that I would strive for. Being fair, being honest, and being reliable to the citizens of Evans County is sure enough a definite. It's a definite for me. I would, treat everybody the same, and treat everybody with respect. And some may say, well, you can't treat everybody the same, but I feel like as long as you're going by the operating procedure and being respectful to folks, you can do it. There's a way that you can do it. Some may not be satisfied with the answer you may give, or some of the answers that's been given to them, but at least you're doing the right thing. You're being fair, not doing something for John that I can't do for Jimmy, but I really can't put a grade, I guess you could say, on the like I said, I would hope it would be excellent, but but just from hearing folks talk, I know it's not excellent, but you can stand some improvement.
Okay. Mr. Welch, I'm going to give this question to you first, and then Sheriff Timmons. This is the age of technology. So how would you use technology to make the sheriff's department more effective in solving crimes and in preventing future crime? And is the department up to par in terms of new technology type things? And I know we probably don't have the things we see on CSI.
But as far as the technology that is needed in law enforcement, I'm 100% behind it. Stuff such as body cams, DNA technology, the internet, all that stuff is but we have to understand that technology is just a tool. It's not a solution. It's a tool, and it's very important that we do utilize that stuff to help solve crimes and maybe prevent other crimes, such as the use of internet for illegal purposes, and fingerprinting. Technology is a plus, and from my point of view, it's a must this day and time.
Sheriff Timmons?
Ms. Ford, you say that. We watched NCIC or New Orleans IC or whatever, and they get that computer and they start doing this. Joe and my wife will say, "Where's y'all at?" I said, "It's broke." And we had to send it to the shop. I agree with Mr. Marvin about the technology thing in 19. Okay, now why am I going back that far? My thing. In 2012, 2010, I applied for a grant to the Bureau of Justice, and fortunately, I was able to receive that grant. And in that 2 years of running that grant, we received a recognition from the Bureau of Justice at the top, within the top 10 with other cities and counties in this nation of how we was running it. And with that, we use Facebook, back then when we had it was Blackberries, and we were sending out information, come up with like a red light. Red light means only law enforcement can hear it, and we would dispatch it to us, to the city, to the troopers, to say, don't tell nobody now, once you put the genie out there, you know, once you let it out, you got to keep it. We had a caution light for not quite sensitive items, and then the green light was to the general public. But we really got that grant, it really worked up good. Like I said, the Bureau of Justice recognized us as doing a great job. But due to funding and budgets and some other things, I couldn't keep that up running like it needed to. We needed to have a personnel designed to sit there and do that. So that was kind of laid low. I really missed it. I feel like sometimes I'm running blind. You can hear stuff, you know, I can be, but anyway, technology's good.
Okay, the last question, how do you propose to keep the department updated in areas like general crime solving? And what are your thoughts on jailing persons who commit crimes during domestic violence and persons who are certified mentally ill, but, you know, not in an institution?
Mental health's been a problem since I've been a badge on. It's grown real rapidly. It has become a serious problem. And the problem that I really see is up in Atlanta that nobody really realizes, and I know they fund the stuff, but we hadn't gotten places to put some people in the mental health section. But I've been proactive since I've been sheriff. It's called crisis intervention training. That's for all my officers except for one. Now I've got some part-time people that just helping me out while somebody's out. But all my officers and my jail administrator has been a CIT trained. That puts them to be in touch with how a mentally ill person reacts. That helps them to understand. And also I've got a CIT trainer that's trained, that can train other people. And in 2014, he got the award for the best trainer for us, for CIT for this area. I forget the rest of the question, but anyway.
Okay, it was regarding persons who commit domestic violence type crimes
Yes,
and the certified mentally ill. You know, are there collaborations with other agencies, you know, where people can go for counseling?
Yes.
Or they just
And I
put in
really just
jail?
brought that up. They've really, I like the program that the governor's put out. We met down at the RIF or something that's calling about helping to add counselors. Once somebody was convicted, that we're gonna start counseling to help them out. If they find out if they're mentally ill, to check, to go all the way through the system with them. And then when they get out, try to even help them get a job. That's something that I would hope we could get a volunteers for counseling and some of the things. That's where maybe churches can help or something to that extent.
I'm a firm believer that in being prepared as far as dealing with maybe mentally challenged personnel, person who may be violent crime, domestic or whatever, to have the officers or myself as sheriff, elected sheriff, prepared by having that training. We can also do things as far as, and again, it's kind of difficult because I'm outside looking in, but as a trooper, when I was a trooper, you know, we had connection with other department, other agencies that if I were to arrest somebody who may be mentally disturbed, you know, there was a procedure that we had to go through as far as instead of just dropping them off at the jail and locking them up, you know, if putting that burden on the jailers, we would have them take them to the hospital, get them evaluated, and did it, we had to take them to somewhere like Charter by the Sea or one of the middle institutions or wherever the case may be. That's where we would transfer them to versus just dropping them off. But you do have to be prepared, and you do have to have the facilities to house these persons, especially the mentally disturbed, someone who may be schizophrenic or whatever the case may be. You have to have the proper place to house them to keep them from being a harm to anybody or from to themselves.
And then both of you mentioned training. So presently, Sheriff Tippins, are your officers trained, or do you have designated officers, or is there training available to any and all of the officers regarding how you relate to people during domestic violence incidents, persons, you know, who are
Yes.
mentally challenged?
Yes, they've, all my officers, except for one, is CIT certified. That's dealing with the mentally ill, and it kind of coincides with the domestics too.
Okay, thank you. We'll now have closing statements. Mr. Welch, you can go first.
I know there were some areas in which I really couldn't put my finger on because, as I say, I'm not with the sheriff department as of yet. But just working around different sheriff departments and police departments, you know, I know that you have to be pretty much equipped or trained for any kind of situation. Mental health, domestic, whatever the case may be, all officers should be trained to deal with those type of persons, because you never know who you're gonna run across or who you're gonna arrest or have to arrest during that time. Me as elected sheriff, I have the proactive type of leadership skill, and that includes, again, being prepared. I've always used the example, you know, when you join the Army, you don't join the Army to go to war, so to speak, but the first thing they do is prepare you for war. So whenever the time comes, you know, you are prepared. You don't wait until a war comes, then try to prepare. I believe in that type of leadership. Throughout my law enforcement career, that's the only way that the only thing that I adapt to, and it does work. And you have officers who may not want to do it that way, but they always got to remember though who's in charge, you know, because you know it's fun. Because everything that happens with a negative impact, it's going to fall back on the sheriff or whoever's in charge. So we have to be prepared for those situations. Communicating with the communication with citizens, community. I feel strongly that, you know, we need a great relationship with our community. They can be our eyes, they can be our ears when we're not around, because we're not there 24 hours a day, you know. But those people that live in those neighborhoods, in those communities, they are there. They see what goes on. They hear what goes on in conversation. So I feel like, you know, we have to have that close bond with them. And in law enforcement, you still have to remember where that line is drawn. You know, you can't just take for granted, you know, well, this is my buddy, you know, this. You have to draw a line that they understand that you are the officers and they are the citizens. Everybody that we run across in law enforcement is not a criminal. And that's one thing that our officers have to realize, that everybody's not a criminal. They're citizens just trying to do their best day by day, and we are here to protect and to serve them. And I have three questions that I want to ask right quick. I know the bell rung, but I want to get these questions in because this is like, and not ask the citizens. And I've been asking everyone that I come across, you know, do you want your schools to be safe? Do you want your family to be safe? Do you want to live in a community that's safe? And I always ask this question. If you answer yes to those questions, when you go to the polls on November the 8th, vote Marvin Wells for sure. And I can guarantee you that we will work towards that. Thank you.
Sheriff Tippins.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for the opportunity to speak tonight. And, in closing, I want to say that I've been here a while, I'm experienced, I know my people, I know what they want, and I try to help them with that. I feel like that, the sheriff's office, like I say, I work for 4 sheriffs. They've been great sheriffs with me. I've been close with the other sheriffs around me. And what I have done with all that knowledge is sometimes where they maybe made mistakes, and I learned from them mistakes. I've made some mistakes here since I've been at the sheriff's office, and I've learned from them. And also, it's a hard job to be in charge. A lot of times, it's just the decisions you make. Sometimes, why me? Why? It's tough. But I want to be the sheriff, and whoever follows me, if it's Mr. Welch or if it's down the line, they want nobody to put the hours in that Randall Tippins has put in for you. And that's it. Thank you.
Let's give them all a hand. I'm gonna turn things back over to Ms. Mabel Hannah.
Now we will have closing remarks from Ms. Doris Tolman.
Good evening to everyone that I have not greeted. And I want to thank all of you for coming. I am humbled in what has taken place here tonight. No matter who is elected, we're going to be in good hands. And with all of the negativity, we are all so tired of CNN and CBS and the negativity on the national level. It is so heartwarming to sit here to see gentlemen, I'm not talking about you right now, but gentlemen who respect each other, you know, give you a warm, fuzzy feeling that whoever wins, we're in good hands. And I am so proud of Brian, and I apologize for your name being misspelled.
It's all right.
But you know how it goes.
Still brown.
I am so proud of Brian because I didn't teach Brian, but he came along at Claxton High School while I was there. And he is so knowledgeable. And I apologize to Mr. Pinker not being here. He did tell me, but there was a missed call, and I'm trying to get used to that iPhone. You know, I'm not used to that kind of stuff, so there's a missed call. So maybe he called to explain why he isn't here. But Brian did a wonderful job in answering the questions and giving us the facts. I was educated. And so Brian, I thank you. And I'm not going to try to pronounce Miss Jessica's name, but I want to thank you for educating us on the amendments. And once again, thank all of you for your support, and I just feel educated. And so let's once again give our candidates and Miss Jessica a hand. Thank you, audience, for coming. I want to especially thank the mayor, Mayor Branch, Ms. Gail Durntz, our city administrator. I mean, they have opened up this building and they have been so helpful. We were intending to go to the city Veterans Center, but because of Matthew, you know, she disrupted the whole a lot, he disrupted a lot. BEMA took precedence over us tonight. I also want to thank Sarah, and I want to thank the chamber. The chamber has just been great. They received some questions for us. They've given us all of the help because they did this before. This is our first time, the Evans County Afro-American Society, along with the MLK committee. This is our first time trying to do something like this. We couldn't have done it without you. So once again, thank you.